True crime and justice system in America. America is a land that calls itself the beacon of freedom, but behind its shining skyline lies a shadow of vast and complex justice system where freedom and fairness often collide. Every day, in quiet courtrooms and overcrowded prisons, countless stories unfold, stories of guilt, innocence, corruption, and hope. According to BBC News, March 2024, the United States has the highest incarceration rate in the world. More than 2 million people are behind bars. That is nearly 1 out of every 100 adults. So the central question remains, is America delivering justice or merely punishing its own people? As the New York Times reported in June 2023, the United States holds about 5% of the world population, yet nearly 25% of its prisoners. The Sentencing Project 2023 described this as mass incarceration on an industrial scale, a phenomenon that began in the 1970s and exploded during the so-called war on drugs. During this period, politicians promised to be tough on crime, but in reality laws became tough on people, especially the poor and minorities. In 1982, President Ronald Reagan officially launched the war on drugs. According to Britannica 2022, this campaign drastically increased arrests for minor drug offenses, most of them nonviolent. By the 1990s, drug-related incarcerations had surged by over 500%. The Drug Policy Alliance 2015 noted that despite equal drug usage across races, Black Americans were arrested at nearly 4 times the rate of white Americans. This was not just policy, it was social engineering through punishment. When prison populations exploded, private corporations saw an opportunity. Time magazine October 2022 reported that companies like CoreCivic and GEO Group built dozens of for-profit prisons across the country, housing tens of thousands of inmates, each one earning them government dollars. These prisons often cut costs on healthcare, nutrition, and rehabilitation, while lobbying lawmakers to maintain strict sentencing laws. In the words of one investigative journalist for The Guardian, February 2023, the business of punishment became more profitable than the business of reform. Justice in America often depends not on truth, but on money. According to NPR Hidden Brain, August 2023, 80% of criminal defendants cannot afford their own attorney. Public defenders are overloaded, underfunded, and exhausted. Meanwhile, wealthier defendants can afford private lawyers who manipulate the system, delay trials, or negotiate lighter sentences. As Harvard Law Review 2022 summarized, in America, the scales of justice tilt heavily toward those who can pay the price of fairness. Race remains one of the most painful fractures within America's justice system. According to the Washington Post, April 2023, African Americans make up about 13% of the U.S. population, but nearly 40% of the prison population. The Sentencing Project 2023 found that a black man born in the U.S. has a 1 in 3 chance of being incarcerated in his lifetime. It is a pattern rooted in history, from slavery to segregation to systemic bias. As civil rights lawyer Brian Stevenson told PBS NewsHour 2022, the shadow of slavery still lingers in the corridors of American justice. The story of incarceration is not only about men. According to CNN December 2023, the population of women in U.S. prisons has increased by more than 700% since 1980. Most are single mothers, often convicted of nonviolent crimes such as low-level drug possession or fraud. Amnesty International 2022 highlighted that female inmates face severe health, neglect, abuse, and trauma, yet their stories remain the least heard. Even children are not spared. Human Rights Watch 2021 reported that over 60,000 minors are incarcerated in the United States, some serving life sentences without parole. The Atlantic 2023 described the system as a machine that treats kids like adults, but never adults like humans. Many inmates are not criminals, they are patients. The American Psychological Association, June 2023, revealed that nearly half of all inmates in U.S. prisons suffer from a mental health disorder, yet as NBC News January 2024 reported, access to proper treatment is minimal. Prisons have become America's largest mental hospitals. As of 2025, 27 states still retain the death penalty. According to The Guardian, May 2024, multiple wrongful executions have been documented due to faulty evidence. Racial bias or flawed forensics DNA testing has freed over 190 people from death row, proving how fallible the system can be. In the words of the Innocence Project, 2023, when the state kills an innocent person, justice itself dies. Amid this darkness, there are glimmers of hope. The Brookings Institution, 2024, reported that reforms in several states, including New York, California, and Colorado, have reduced prison populations, without increasing crime. Community policing, diversion programs, and restorative justice models are helping rebuild trust. According to the Vera Institute of Justice, 2023, over 20 states have introduced new laws aimed at shortening sentences and improving rehabilitation. Justice is also evolving with technology. Wired magazine, 2023, noted the rise of AI-based predictive policing tools, which claim to forecast crimes before they happen, but critics say they often replicate racial bias. As MIT Technology Review April 2024 warned, when algorithms inherit human prejudice, justice becomes data-driven discrimination. Communities across America are reimagining justice not as punishment, but as healing. The Atlantic 2024 highlighted local movements in cities like Oakland and Minneapolis, where victims and offenders meet in dialogue, not to exchange blame, but to rebuild empathy. These stories remind us that justice is not merely a verdict, it is a process of understanding. As the sun sets over America's courthouses and correctional centers, one truth stands firm: the pursuit of justice is an ongoing journey, not a destination. The Economist, May 2024, described it best: America's justice system mirrors its soul, capable of greatness, yet haunted by its own contradictions. And so we return to our question: can a nation built on liberty find balance between accountability and compassion? In the quiet cells of forgotten prisons, in the crowded courtrooms of major cities, and in the hearts of those still waiting for fairness, that answer continues to unfold. I am Muskan Babar. This is FactZone.